Okay, so this is going to be a test video of my new GoPro. No idea what I'm going to draw, but I'm going to draw something and possibly ink it. I guess I'll just start with the body. I don't really know how to talk to myself very much. I guess I better start getting used to it if I intend to do this long term. This is more of a test video to check the audio and all this other mumbo jumbo that I don't really understand sometimes. I'm guessing I'm drawing a superhero, obviously. And hopefully this is also a test to see if the constant running fan in the background is any effect on the video itself. And it looks horrible. Just bring that arm down a little bit. That bicep. This over. That's a little better. The wood cage area here. Wingspan. That's what I call the wingspan. I'm not sure what it's actually called. Belt area. I think I'll make this any particular character. I'll just draw some lines to give it a place, for costume or whatever. Whether or not I'm probably gonna make this guy with a couple of underoos. Underoos! Your typical hero pose, I guess. Big old thick thighs there. Question is, do I want to give this guy a cape? Cape, no cape. Good old incredible smoothie. Do I want to give this guy a mask? Do I want to give this guy hair, like super underoos? I'm not sure yet. Strong jawline there. Detail. Muscle. Okay. Let's see. Alright, that's the basic body form. I'm sure you can tell from there. still not sure if I want to give this guy a mask or not. So to the face, there's ear to one ear, nose going about there. Shading the nose. I guess I'm not going with a mask then. I'll just go with skeletal structure, I guess. A little shading. I guess I could make a mold for the sake of ease. This ear stick out a little bit. You know what? Let's try it. Maybe he won't be a hero. Maybe he'll be a villain. So let's stick a horn over here. One over here. And then technically, I guess heroes can have horns too. It's not always technically having to be a bad guy thing. No idea what the camera did there. I saw it on the peripherals. Or peripherals. Okay, we'll call it that. Give him like pointy ears, I guess. It can look like a demonic figure. Kinda, but not really. And then what? Let's give him a cape. Of sorts. Alright, quick sketch. Supposed to be a quick sketch, guys, but I don't know. Sometimes quick doesn't work with me. Click. Which way is the cape gonna go? Hey, baby.
Hey, bro.
Just in case you hear me talking, I'm talking pretty much to myself and the camera. I'm doing the quick tests for the camera, audio, and all that other stuff. So be warned, if I post this, you may end up audio-wise in the video.
Yeah.
Let's change the belt here a little bit.
Beth did give me that heads up.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know why I'm drawing a utility belt in this dude, but it's the way I draw. I just draw random stuff. You know what? Let's give him this tarp thing in front. It can look almost ancient-ish. Maybe ancient, I guess you can say. Ancient, what's the word I'm looking for?
They're an extra large and they fit.
What are they? Oh, like what Monty gave you?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Monty, my brother from another mother. Tarp thing come from the back also.
Excuse me.
Since he's a demonic figure, let's put like a horn coming out of his elbow here.
There is no more potato salad. I ate it all.
Okay, well, I ate him all out of it too, so I ain't gonna complain. So maybe quick sketching where you're putting a lot of detail into it and it shouldn't be. But sometimes I just can't help myself.
this. I don't know if there's any left. Because Beth went in there and had seconds. And you know how she is with pasta.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. I personally don't like drawing backgrounds, just so everybody knows. I hate it. I sometimes do it, but for the most part, I don't like trying to draw backgrounds. I think it's a good test also. Let's bring something down here to make it look like it's part of a uniform of some sort. This is just a basic quick sketch of what the body looks like. After I ink, I'll ink over this and decide what goes and what stays then. Don't really have a process per se. Stretch out that body part. Alright. Well, that's the, took me about 11 minutes to do a quick sketch of a horn guy. Now let's go over to my inking pens, and I sometimes like to start off with a .005 micron, but I think this time around I'll go with a .01 micron. Not sure if you can see that. There it is. Oops. You saw it, whatever. Alright, so at this point, I got the basic outline, and again, this is quick. Usually take a little bit more time with my artwork, but because with the inking, I can give it just some subtle details as I go along. Everybody has a particular style. They have steps on how to do things. I have a couple of friends who are artists, and they give me tips here and there on how they do stuff, and they're amazing artists. Normally I have my head like right over the paper, so there's another thing I'm gonna have to start getting used to if I start making this more frequent thing. Again, I don't really think about what I'm drawing. It just happens to come out decent. I'm pretty much self-taught. A couple of friends who give me advice now and then. Like I said before, I don't know why I repeated myself. Again, this whole talking to yourself thing is new to me. Well, not really new. Let me rephrase. It's something that was extremely discouraged when I was younger. As a younger lad, I actually spoke to myself quite a lot. And it was discouraged because it was considered, I guess, a type of mental illness. Or people just looked at you funny. But anyway, I guess it's a okay thing to do now. I just gotta get into it again. Just got rid of the lips. Again, this is just pretty much what the 01 anchor pen that I have here, micron. I use several pens in my process sometimes, and this is just to give me a basic example of where I want certain lines, certain darkness. I got about 2 hours on this SD card, so I'm gonna make the best of it as I can. And this is just to see where my direction needs to go when it comes to making videos. I may share this, I may not. If I do, yay, I guess. I don't know. I kind of want to make it to where I have people asking me questions. For all I know, because of this GoPro that Monty gifted me for Christmas. Thank you again so much, brother, for that. This is amazing. I've been having a lot of fun figuring out the little features and got the app, and that's what I'm running right now. I'm pretty much running the app as I record here since I'm by myself, and so far the ease of use is pretty amazing. I just hope the quality comes out as well as I hope. Okay, I'm not leaving. I'll just do this here. Like a glove that comes out hard. There you go. One of those fold over pirate type gloves. But what was I saying? Yeah, it's supposed to be just a test video, but I may share it just for shits and giggles. Giggles and shits. And yes, this will be, if I do it on YouTube, it will not be kid friendly because of the language, because if this becomes a normal thing, I don't want to be demonetized. If I get monetized, whatever, I don't know the details on that. You know, Bethany, baby girl Bethany, knows a lot more about that kind of stuff than I do. And she'll be helping me out editing videos and adding and taking away content, maybe helping me time lapse some of this footage. Maybe she'll just extract the video. I don't know. She's brilliant with that kind of stuff, so I could be talking all this stuff right now, and then if it's taking too long, she'll just time lapse it and just put all the audio together in between the times I don't really talk all that much. But again, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with that kind of technology. Yeah, it's not my thing. Yeah, let's get my belt. There. That. And now the wife is taking a bath. It was a really late night the night before with Monty coming over, and we had a good time watching TV, watching some wrestling on WWE Network, and I'm not sure if I should be saying that. I don't know. It'll get bleeped out or something. I don't know. Had some fun watching cartoons. Yes, we're adults and we watch cartoons. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a dime. And again with the glove. Let's see. Move that out this way. This one pops over there. Goes over here. Hook there, a little protruding in there. So yeah, this whole talking to yourself business. How people do it these days? I mean, I don't understand. Like, they're so used to talking to themselves. And my daughter, 9 years old, loves the sound of her own voice. She hates it when it's quiet. She needs to say something at all times. I'm like, I love you, but be quiet. I didn't want silence time. Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and complete that cape there like I did that swirl there. I'm just gonna keep on rolling. And as I was saying before, I don't like drawing backgrounds really all that much. So what I do sometimes, I make a square or a rectangle or a triangle, or sometimes it's just a random shape out of nowhere, and make it a black background and make it look like he's like kind of popping out of the paper a little bit. I don't know yet. We'll see. pencil there. But, I'm hoping this comes out pretty decent, because that means I'll be able to do a lot more, because sometimes I'll get in these drawing moods to where I just can't stop. Images in my head keeps popping up. And I gotta put them to paper, otherwise I can't sleep, I can't rest. Images keep on forming and forming, and details get added into my head. And one of my favorite things to do is mashups, to where I mash up different characters together and make a whole new character. As some of you, all my friends, family, and fans, have seen many times before. Alright, the outline is basically done. Put away that marker, or that pen rather, and start erasing. And I start from the top to the bottom usually, and that way, hopefully by the time I get to the bottom, the ink is easy. Even though it is quick drying, sometimes if I start from where I stopped, the ink tends to not be completely dry by the time I get there. And that's a pain in the ass, because it smears and smudges, then I have to figure out a way on how to fix it when it doesn't erase properly. This part here will probably be time-lapsed, depending on what Bethany's in the mood for. I don't know. I don't think I'll be coloring this one. I highly doubt it, in fact, just for the sake of time and space on the memory card. I don't have a huge one yet. As time goes by, and if this takes off, I'll be able to make better setups and make it happen, Captain, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so that's probably the majority of it. And this is my style for the majority of my inking work. Sometimes I may go in and do a video, if it, like I said, if this takes off, of pencil drawings and shading with the stub and stuff. And just so you know, yes, I am currently in bed. This is my most comfortable position for drawing. I don't really have a studio. I don't have a drawing table per se, or space for a table. I can't really sit in a regular chair for very long due to health constrictions. So, just in case you're wondering why you hear creaking and such, I'm currently in my bedroom, in my bed. And I'm noticing that I missed a few lines here, so I'm gonna get that 0.1 micron and put those lines in, just for the sake of not forgetting. Just for the sake of not forgetting that they are there later when I'm inking a little more with the darker colors and thicker colors. Because one of the things I like to do sometimes is gray washing. I don't think I'll be gray washing this one. It's a pain in the ass right now to stand up and pause. They don't even have pause feature, as far as I can tell on the app. So far we're 24 minutes into the video, and I've already done the basic outline for the ink. I think what I'll do now, as far as inking goes, I think I'll switch over to my Faber-Castells and look for my soft brush tip, and maybe do some more darker shadings to give a little bit more depth to the drawing. I think I'm gonna need to invest in new pens, because I think these are getting a little frayed and a little more difficult to work with. Darken that up right there. I have been asked some questions before. I guess I can try and call Bethany over here and have her pick up my phone and look at the info, but again, that might ruin the video process right now. Now, I have seen videos before to where I'm like, why did you do that? That looked better the way it was before, and I will more than likely have that kind of reaction from some people when I draw. Oh well. it's what it's done. What is done is done. Sometimes you can't go back, you know, and there are ways to white out whatever and make it, you know, better, but I'm not going backwards right now. Like I said, this is supposed to be a test video, but I just can't help myself when it comes to adding more and more detail into things. Here, I'm not sure where the light's coming from. Most likely from above. So we have all these shadings on the eyes. Some dark shading over here. Yeah, every once in a while we'll twist the thing around. Do some dark shading here to show what the cape is on his body. Shadow there. Again, occasionally I will get quiet, but hopefully Bethy will. And who knows, maybe this thing won't need to be time lapse. It'll just be a short little hour video-ish that can be maybe just trimmed here and there, and you'll be able to hear my docile tones, as Calculator would say from DC Universe Online. DC Universe Online, by the way, is where I met Monty. At the time, he was known as Zeskamos, or Zeski, as we created our characters and such. And we just hit it off as friends, and eventually met face to face, as some online gamers do, and we've been friends ever since. And that's been since my daughter was just an infant, just a baby. So we've been friends that long. We've been gaming on and off for a while with the game, and I haven't been on that game for a while now though, because I'm not too happy with those people. Let's do some darkening in here. Randomness there. Give him a shadow over there. I'm very erratic when it comes to my drawing. I move on and flow my way all the way down to some spot and then come right back up and say, oh wait, I missed this part right here. And it gets taken care of usually. Again, I don't really think about my artwork. I just draw sometimes. One of my friends told me I should plan ahead, but I'm like, that loses something for me. It just doesn't feel quite right. I'm like moving further away from the GoPro, so I apologize for that. Get back to center. I don't always think about what I want to draw. I just draw with the mood, with the feels. Like I said, this drawing was supposed to be a test drawing, and I may be posting it. I don't know. Get the angle of the angle. Definitely need to invest on more Faber-Castell soft brush tips or more, pens. Feeling a little awkward with the way it lands on the paper and stuff. And that's another thing I like. For the most part, I prefer, pencil and paper as opposed to digital. Mostly that's how I was raised. I just figured I can. Most of the questions that were asked to me were asked on Facebook in the comments, so maybe I can make it just happen. Again, this is my first time. It's supposed to be a test one, but I may be going all out. I don't know. I'm still not gonna color it though. Still trying to make it a short video. Hey Beth. Actually, I can call her with my intercom. Let me call her with my intercom real quick. Hey Bethany, will you come here, please? In case you're wondering, it is not really like a rich person's intercom. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 2nd floor in Indiana, and it's just a bay monitor that I have set up as like a semi-security camera, keep an eye on my daughter who likes to get into stuff camera. Hey girl, I am currently recording right now. Okay. I've already explained a few things to the viewers, that if there are any. Will you do me a favor, because I wanted to have you read the questions that were read to me.
Okay.
But I don't really want to do it with my phone because I'm using the app on my phone to record.
Facebook.
Yep. But I realized that it's on Facebook and you can access them with your phone. Okay. Would you mind getting your phone and doing that for me, please?
Sure.
Thank you. It is not a tarp. You be quiet in there. Enjoy your bath. You naked heifer. Anyway, that's the wife in the bathroom putting in her 2 cents.
Was it on what you posted earlier?
Yep, it's on what I posted earlier, and so far nobody has really commented on the story, just on the Facebook post itself. So go ahead and have a seat if you want to get comfortable, because there are like a few questions.
Okay.
So come on, sit down. Have a sit.
Am I reading those ones too?
From Kermit, from you, and I think even Monty made a statement. So just whatever order you want, and just try not to repeat the questions.
Okay. Have you gone through your kind of process?
I don't really have a process. Like I was trying to tell the video viewers, I don't really have a process per se. I sometimes think about something and start sketching it, and it comes out decent, so I ink it, Sometimes I don't ink it. Sometimes I just color it in just straight pencil and shade it that way. But I don't really have a set process. It's just whatever I feel at the time. And it just looks like the GoPro messed up a little bit there, but it's still recording, so hopefully it's kosher.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. I already told them that you're my editor in chief, I guess you can say.
Yes.
Well, editor, yeah, but not chief. If need be, there'll be some time lapsing, and you just extract the video or the audio rather.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to do.
So I don't know the process, so I already told them that you're a genius when it comes to casting and stuff.
I appreciate that.
Not a problem. All right. Anything else? What's the next one?
Okay. Do you tattoo?
I don't tattoo right now. I have tattooed in the past. One of my other brothers from another mother, Joel Santiago, has tattoos that has a tattoo anyway that I have done on him. So does the wife. She has several. She wants more, and she always does right now. But I really haven't done any tattoos since before we left California, way before. So I haven't really picked up a tattoo gun in order to tattoo in quite a while.
Okay. Are you willing to freestyle a drawing for a tattoo?
Now, here's a question for you. Why aren't you telling me who's asking these questions?
This is Kermit.
Isn't that a thing to do on these videos? Is to give a little prop to whoever's asking the question? Huh? Come on, rookie. You can do it.
I apologize. It's been a while since I've done my gaming videos.
Yeah, well.
And I never did a Q&A.
Well, this is something this is a concept I want to do. I want to do a Q&A, come and hang out and draw with me type of thing. I want to be more. I've seen videos before where people draw and they don't really talk. They just have some music playing, and it doesn't really seem, to me, in my opinion, very organic. It seems almost processed, And I want more organic, feel to it. To where I want to feel like you and I are just hanging out in the room, and you're just sitting there watching me draw and talk and stuff, and ask me questions as we're going about. So Kermit asked what now?
Are you willing to freestyle a drawing for a tattoo?
That's a hard question because again, as I was mentioning in my process, I don't really think of drawing sometimes. I just draw. I mean, one of the things I disliked about tattooing, and one of the reasons I stopped doing it for so long, is because the human psyche is extremely fucking picky. They don't know what they want sometimes, and people without the talent for drawing that can't put it to paper, they know what they want. They see it in their head, but they sometimes don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to explain what they want, what they see. And that's extremely frustrating because how am I supposed to see what's in your head, fucker? Learn to express what you want to say. At the very least, practice sketching a little bit, and that way I get a general idea of what you want. But when it comes to freestyling a drawing to tattoo, I need some details because Joel loves boasting about how one time, when we first started hanging out and stuff, we were on the phone together. Yes, kids, on landlines, something that don't really exist anymore. But on landline, we were back when we were younger, several almost fucking 20 years ago. Yes, I'm showing my age. Shut up. He described a character that he had in his head over the phone, and he didn't know this, but at least I don't think he knew this. I was drawing said character as he was talking and asked him details about it and stuff like that. I was just giving a quick sketch. And then once we got off the phone, I did some more details on it and then showed him the next time we saw each other, and he was flabbergasted. He boasts on how well that came out. So sometimes I do, but it's not a preferred thing for me. So.
Okay. And Kermit also wants to know if you sell your art.
sometimes I did try to sell my art. I'm not sure if he even was saw it or not, but on the marketplace I did for a while have some of my artwork on there. From what I understand, as far as YouTube rules go, I cannot really sell copyrighted material. So if I draw on the video a character that is copyrighted or copywritten, however the grammar, the grammar Nazi's taking a bath right now. However the proper grammar is, if a character is copywritten and I don't have permission to sell said version of a copywritten material, I cannot sell it if I have made the drawing on the video. I can gift it, and I can probably get donations, but I have in the past sold some of my artwork. I've sold maybe like a few to my friends here on Facebook. They know who they are. I don't want to, stick anybody out there like that.
Yeah.
So, but they know who they are. They bought some of my work, and I'm hoping they enjoy that work. And I sometimes will draw some, commissions for people who are patient with me. And I think that's it for this one. I don't really want to do too much more with this brush because it's getting frayed. But yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know. Next question, please.
Okay. These ones are from me.
You're a questioner.
Yes. What first got you kind of into the comic book style art?
Let's see. That one's kind of a tough one because I have two answers. It's a two-parter. When I was a kid, my uncle, Beraldo Barrero, he's on Facebook too. Look him up. He was an artist for Univision and Telemundo, for the newscast, and he would draw those little drawings that you will see in a corner. Back in the day, everything was done by hand, and he had to cut out these plastic films and make a shape and make the art that you would see as the newscaster was talking. And I was inspired by him to get into drawing in the first place. Now, as a kid, growing up, the Super Friends in the 80s, I drew Superman, Batman, but they came out looking really crappy. They came out looking a lot like this. Let me see if I can show you. They came out looking, let's see, there was no nose, but there was a shape for a nose, and of course the eye and the mouth. And then because I had no concept of profiles, it would look a lot like this, to where that would be the side view of Superman. And of course, I have no concept again of muscle structure, so it would look a lot like this, to where there was no real shape and stuff like that. I didn't know where all the lines were, or anything like that. That would be it. That would be me drawing. And the funny thing is, Batman would have the same exact pose. I would just like have the little ears and and make the line for the nose and the eye, and that's it. There would be no difference really much of anything. But that's how I drew as like 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
But that's my comic book style for that time. And by the way, right now I'm using the 0.5, sorry, 0.5 on the Micron to do the outline here. But I remember when I was in elementary school, one of the very first comic books that was given to me, it was gifted to me by some other student, and I drew and copied, from looking at it, not really tracing that much. I hardly ever got into tracing, if I remember correctly. A Daredevil comic book, and I drew Daredevil, and pretty much from there it just took off. You would think Daredevil would be my favorite character of all time. Unfortunately, he's not. He's a really cool character. I like him. You know, Matt Murdock, you know, a blind lawyer from Hell, you know, from Hell's Kitchen. I know the storyline. I've seen the movies. I've seen the TV show on Netflix a couple times. So I know his background, but he is not my favorite. The favorite, unfortunately, before it was cool, kids, before it was cool, I liked Batman. Since I was, since my, actually, I liked Batman since my uncle, again, Beraldo Barrero, is like a father to me. He took me to see the very first Batman movie in the theaters in the 80s. In the theaters, I remember, matter of fact, I remember something semi-dangerous he did, and I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has passed on this, but he sped up a little bit. He pretended to hit the switch on his car. I think it was a Pontiac Firebird, I think it was, or a Pontiac Thunderbird or something like that. I know it was a Pontiac, and he talked to the door as a door. Yeah, he would just let it rip, and we would speed up, and it was fun as hell. And he took me to see the very first Batman. I've been a Batman fan ever since. And then I saw Batman Part 2, and it just went on from there. I mean, I'm not a fanatic like some people are. Like, they have like extreme collectibles, and that's not me. I don't have extreme. I have some collectibles. I won't even lie, especially from the 90s when I was living in Miami, and I had a little summer job. I would buy a few collectibles from the Batman Part 2 movie. So, yeah, that's how it pretty much started, and then, you know, went from there. Sylvester Aguilar and I were friends in high school, and he was into it too. And I don't know how we became friends, but it just happened in high school or junior high, and it went from there. We were just drawing buddies. He's an amazing artist. He has more control than I do. He has a different style. I think he's amazing. Look him up, guys. Sylvester Aguilar on my friends list. I don't know if he's on my friends list on YouTube, but he should be doing this too. I'm just saying, because he can give some really good tips on his artwork. All right, next question, I guess. I'm rambling.
You're good. Again, for me, I know you mentioned that you've been drawing since you were 5, so this is kind of going to show your age a little bit, but how long have you been drawing?
I was born many years ago, back in the land when it was flat and hot. No. I was born in 1975, and like I said, I like drawing because of my uncle, and I would draw random stuff. I remember drawing, one of my favorite things to draw at the time was pretend landscape of like this waterfall, and I was so bad at dimensions and visuals that the waterfall was a straight line from one side of the paper to another, and it didn't go into a point. It was just like one flat line one way, one flat line the other way, and then like a ridge and like a little house and a tree on the other side, and that was it. No more vegetation. Like apocalyptic fucked up waterfall, I guess you can say. Because there was nothing else. There was no other vegetation, no animals. No. This kid didn't believe in population, you know, control all that much. Fuck it. I'm alone. I got a waterfall. I got an apple tree. I'm good. Leave me alone. Hermit to the day I die, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. What was the question again?
How long have you been drawing?
A long time. A very long time.
About 40 years, huh?
Yeah, and I'm pretty much self-taught. I've had basic training, quote unquote, from high school. Mr. Jenkins, rest in peace. At least rest in peace. At least I think I heard of that he passed away, and yeah, rest in peace. He taught me a few things, and that I still use to this day. You know, with trying to keep my proportions in order and stuff like that. But like I said, sometimes I don't think when I draw. I just draw. he taught me a few things. My friends have taught me a few things. I've seen a few things. One of my favorite artists is Jim Lee, and I take after. I use my a lot of my work based on his work, I guess, but still having my own little sense of style ish. So yeah, I've been drawing a long time. Any other questions
Yeah, just one more for me again.
from you? You would think you would know this stuff already. You know me.
I'm sorry.
What the hell? You live here.
I'm introducing you.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting all your info out there. You mentioned Jim Lee already,
Uh-huh.
but what other artists like inspire you and are
Ah.
your favorite, quote unquote?
My favorite of all time has to be, again, Jim Lee. May he live long and prosper. I mean, because he is amazing, in my opinion. But another few from the 90s that inspired me when I really got into drawing comic book characters would be guys like Eric Larson, Todd McFarlane. Norm Brayfogle did amazing Batman work, in my opinion. And people want me to say, would want me to say things like Stan Lee, but I'm not that old. I thought he was, great for the time,
For the era.
that he was, but for my era, for the time that I'm alive and stuff, I have to mention the greats like, I want to say Rob Liefeld, but I can't say it with a straight face because, like Deadpool said, he can't draw feet. He has a decent style. He's solid with his work sometimes, but I've seen a drawing that he did fairly recently of Captain America, and
He can't draw feet.
No, it's not this time it wasn't a feet. It was like the shield was here, his head was here, but his chest was like way out here. Like the proportions were like way off. Like I don't know what I think he was. I guess deadlines when it comes to that profession. It's a bitch, and you don't really have time to stop and fix and adjust. It's just here, take this one and go.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I really can't see myself making a profession out of my hobby, because I don't do well under pressure. I don't like time frames. I like doing things my way on my time, and this is why it's more of a hobby than a job. I can't see myself making this into a job, because I would lose the hobby aspect. I would lose the love I have for it.
Yeah.
If I have to make it into a 9-to-5 job with timelines and people not being happy with the results of what I came up with and having to switch things around, and it's just it loses the artistic aspect of it. It's no longer art. It's it's work. You might as well just. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I think people love the work people do with computers, because it's so much easier to edit. But when it comes to this kind of work that I like to do, this kind of art that I like to do, it's more organic. It's more you get what you get. It's not gonna change.
Yeah.
You can't really erase ink very easily. Right now, I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but I'm using the 0.5 micron to do a semi-thick line around all the edges to give it a more, I guess, prominent appearance.
See, and I learned that from you too, so.
Yeah, we all learn different, from different places. It's amazing what we can learn. I mean, sometimes you'll teach me a few things.
Right.
You young buck.
I'm not that young.
Oh, let me rephrase, young fawn.
Oh God.
What?
I'm not that young.
A buck is a man deer. A fawn is more of a female, isn't it? Isn't that the proper terminology?
I thought a doe was a female. I think a fawn
doe?
might be like a baby.
Oh, well, you're a baby girl, so it still applies.
It works.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Celebrity Deathmatch. Look it up. I'll allow it. It's one of the shows I used to love on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
Even though MTV is no longer MTV, it's now just reality bullshit.
Right. I miss MTV.
I miss music television.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't say MTV, because MTV now means different things to different people. But yeah, give me a nice, thick outline. And after this, I'll probably do some kind of weird shape in the background because I'm already like an hour into the video.
Mm-hmm.
Answer the questions that I was given already, even though I was hoping for more questions by now. But I guess, some people don't want to ask questions, they just want to see the video.
That and it's like stupid o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but I posted this video yesterday
That's true.
at a decent time
Yeah.
when I was, more coherent and awake.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Okay, well, do you want me to make up a couple on the spot?
I guess you can. I mean, I could probably go live, at some point, in the future, but
Yeah.
I got to do that when people are home.
Mm-hmm.
People have jobs and stuff that, they have responsibilities, so I'm not got to respect that.
Right.
They want me to entertain them, well, they're going to have to be home for that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just go live in the middle of the day when people have their 9 to 5s. Then I won't get no kind of views.
Alright.
Alright, so go ahead, make some up on the spot.
Okay. I'm gonna think of a couple random questions, and you'll have to forgive me if it's stuff you've already gone over.
Okay.
What brand of inking supplies do you prefer to use?
That is a good question. I have been, believe it or not, I am a broke mofo. So I pretty much use for the longest time what I had. A lot of my old artwork is done with Sharpies and random ink pens that I would find around that are really inexpensive in the section in Walmart that has pens and inks and stuff like that. Stationery section is the word I was looking for.
Like $1.50.
Yeah, $1.50 ink pens. Pilot pens was one of my favorite ones because it would have a 0.5 tip on it, and I like drawing with for the longest times. I only recently, in the past few years, got into making my lines thicker to make it more prominent and smooth them out. But I would use Sharpies. I would use Crayola. To the matter of fact, to this day, I still use these things. I still use Crayola in most of my artwork because you can't find, a decent color that matches well with your Sharpie. So you mix and match media.
Right.
I do that a lot.
We is way too broke to be affording Prismacolor.
Yeah, I can't be I can't be buying Prismacolors and what is it, Copic?
Copic. I don't know.
I can't afford that stuff. I would love to, buy that stuff and make some beautiful art with that stuff, but I use what I got, and it works. I mean, I make it look okay,
Mm-hmm.
People like my artwork. They and when I tell them what I use, sometimes they're like, "Really? You can do that with that?"
Right.
Sometimes I use a freaking crayon, and they're like, "You did that with a crayon?"
It's like, you can do that with a kid's art kit? Why,
Yeah.
yes, you can.
It takes a little time, a little patience, and a little bit of a steady hand, and
A lot of practice.
yeah, years and years and
Years.
10 years. Back in the day, when we drew with chalk on the wall,
Oh, God.
we would hear the buffalo roam. Be quiet in there, woman.
I haven't said anything until now, asshole.
Yeah, but you're thinking it.
I'm allowed to think whatever the fuck I like.
Okay, you keep on thinking that. But she's still talking.
I don't want to get in the middle of a fight.
It's not a fight. It's just a loud argument,
It
a
might
loud
be
discussion.
a fight if she comes out here.
It's just a loud discussion. She won't fight. She loves me too much to fight me while I'm trying to draw. Okay, back to the things I use. Yeah, Sharpies. I use, even to right now to this day. A lot of the base colors that I use, is the Sharpies, and then I do the shadowing with my Crayolas, like the shading and stuff like that. And I use acrylic white sometimes to do highlights and to do lighting effects on my artwork. I don't know why I'm doing this because I'll probably just color this part in black anyway. But yeah, that's what I pretty much use. Is whatever I got. I use what I got and whatever I could afford. And usually I can't afford much, you know.
Yeah.
So
Bills to pay.
yeah, because if I could make money with my hobby, you know, that would be great. But unfortunately, there's standards that people want, and I can't meet those standards. You know, they want me to sit in one spot for many hours at a time, and my body won't do that no more. You know, a lot of people don't understand, you know, that art is also not just about talent, but it's also about comfort. If you're not comfortable with your surroundings, if you're not comfortable with your table, if you're not comfortable with, you know, doing something, your artwork is not going to come out as well as people want it to.
Yeah.
You know, at least that's my opinion. That's not the rule per se.
I agree with you though. When I'm doing my art, it comes out much better if I'm comfortable when
Exactly,
I'm doing it.
yeah. And also for me, I have to, in a lot of cases, I have to be in the mood to draw.
Exactly.
You know, I have to have some kind of muse or something, as cliche as that might sound. I am not a machine. I don't just produce art. It just doesn't happen for me that way. Some people can do that. Some people can tap into their art, their talent, and make whatever, you know, is asked of them. I'm not one of those people. You know?
Yeah.
Next question.
Do you prefer working in a grayscale or in color?
Good question. Usually a lot of my stuff is grayscale, but every once in a while something will call for color. Something pops more with color. Sometimes I'm expected. Yeah, I see grayscale, my grayscale artwork, and I'm like, I should have colored that.
Yeah.
But hindsight is 20/20.
Always.
You know.
Do you have any tips for someone who's just kind of starting out, trying to get into doing comic book style art?
Find an artist you like and copy them. Is what the tip I would go with. At first, copy them at first. If you like a person's style, copy them. Trace it 1,000 times. Trace the same drawing 1,000 times if you want to. It doesn't have to be 1,000. It's just a random number out there. But trace until your hand muscle coordination, you know, develops its own style, and then instead of tracing, look at the drawing and draw it. You know, it doesn't have to be tracing all the time. After a while, you just develop your own
Like muscle memory and
yeah,
style.
your own muscle memory and your own grip. Some people use different grips with their pens. I've seen one guy's video to where he would wrap tape around his pens or pencils. Would have this like really big ball because it would grip him and be comfortable for him, and that's the way he's comfortable. So more power to him.
Yeah.
But you know, test things out, and you know, for the most part, just have fun. You know, don't. If you want to draw because you want to draw, then draw. But if you want to draw to impress people, fuck it. No, it's just, you know, just find an artist that you like and copy him, mimic him. You know, imitation is the best form of flattery, or so they say. So, yeah.
And I mean, like you said, you've been drawing for years and years and years, so it takes a long time to learn this stuff. So I mean, if you just started like a month ago, don't get frustrated if you're not.
Seriously, don't get frustrated because you can't. You see, people see my artwork and they think, "Oh, that's amazing! I can do that too," because they think it. That's true to a certain point. You know, if you have a talent, you know, if you already have a history of drawing. But if you don't have a history of drawing, then you gotta just, you know, practice and do the best you can from there.
Right. Because I mean, I've been drawing for years, nowhere near as many years as you, and I'm sometimes I kind of get a mental block because I'm frustrated because I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere.
Right, right, and that's understandable, but you know, it's not the end of the world, you know.
Right.
You can get a mental block. I mean, writers get mental blocks, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
right, Amber?
What?
Yeah. Writers get mental blocks, and they end up, you know, not being able to write what they want for the longest time, but they end up, you know, making something happen
Right?
after a while. So
I mean, you can surprise yourself sometimes.
very true.
Because, I mean, looking, like, trying to remember my old work, I look at it and I'm like, oh, I'm not that much better. It's not that much different. And then when you literally look at it in front of you, you find that art piece and you look at a newer one, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, you end up seeing how much better you've gotten. And the funny thing is, for me, per se, the same happens in reverse.
Right?
I have seen some of my past artwork and my more recent artwork in some ways, and I'm like, what the hell happened to me? Why can't I draw like this anymore?
Yeah.
You know, what changed? What you know, and sometimes it's not so much that you change per se, but the materials you use change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, you know, maybe the state of mind that you were in at the time has changed and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I mean, you could be looking at a picture you did on your best day in a year back then and your
Mhm.
worst day in a year now.
yep, and it'll be two completely different pieces of work. You know, that's drawing is about a mood sometimes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, for me anyway. I mean, it's not the same thing for everybody. I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah.
I can only speak for me.
But I think emotion definitely plays a big role in art.
Well, when it comes to art, yeah. When it comes to like graphic design stuff like that, a lot of people will be like, nah.
Oh yeah, because when I'm on the computer and I'm in a bad mood, I'll just like save it and go away and do something else until I'm in a better mood. But I've done the opposite at some points too. Like I've been kind of steamrolling it and going amazing, and then I'll take a break to go eat something, and I'll come back and all my inspiration is gone. I'm like, damn it!
Okay, I made a mistake over here because I was talking and.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, that's not your fault. I mean, all I gotta do now is just like darken this in, and there it is. It's before it would look like a big old thick piece of ham leg, and now it's more better-ish. I guess you could say. I guess I really didn't think that one through, so
Okay.
whatever.
Have your family always been supportive of your artwork?
I want to say yes. But it all depends on what family member. Some family members saw my art and they think, you know, because I would choose to draw comic book characters, and that's my thing. That's where my go-to. You know, drawing comic book characters, drawing comic book style. And I've had some family members say, "You're not gonna make a living that way. You're not gonna make a living, you know, drawing cartoons." You know, and at the time I was very stubborn. I'm like, yeah, you can, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And to a certain degree, they're right, but because I don't have the education needed for that kind of work, per se, you know. Color this in here because I don't like it. But I don't have the degree or anything like that. I don't even have a GED, so for the most part, they are very supportive. I have family members who are like, to hell with what anybody says. You enjoy what you do. You have fun doing it. So keep on doing it. And by the way, Sharpies.
Sharpies.
My go-to color in the black background.
I need all this to be black, and I need it to be black quickly.
Exactly. It's my go-to. Lately though, I've been using I changed up my style a little bit from going, you know, full Sharpie to using inks and drawing like little cloudish backgrounds. That's some of my. Oh, stop it! You love the smell.
The Sharpie hit me.
The Sharpie hit. Oh, you got the vapors?
I got the vapors.
Oh, you farted?
Yes. And it was glorious.
Yeah, fucking yucky.
Yeah, because, I mean, and recently we've been trying to put a little more money in it and buy you, like, the Faber-Castells and...
Yeah.
I was like, special occasion gifts.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to waste them, you know. But the way Amber sees it, you know, if I buy it for you, it's because I know you're gonna use it. It's not a waste.
Exactly.
You're not just gonna write a freaking letter to the principal at the school with a Faber-Castell pen, you know.
Right.
It's not made for that. You're gonna use a freaking big pen like everybody else in America.
Marca.
But
I have that issue though, don't I? Like, I will buy a $3 sketch pad from Walmart and not want to use it because I don't want to waste the good paper.
And it's not really a waste if you're using it to do what you like to do.
Exactly. But I mean, it can be hard. I mean, like, most of the stuff I do is just on like A4 printer paper, so it's not like you have to have really nice, expensive sketch pads.
Yeah, exactly. And believe it or not, and here's another tidbit going back a couple of steps. A lot of the paper about the supporting of family members, a lot of the stuff I get sometimes when it comes to paper, especially gifts.
Sketch pads.
They will buy me sketch pads up the yin yang because they want me to draw. They want to keep me happy, entertained, and drawing and sharing because they love. You know, I have family members who can't wait to see the next post on Facebook of my artwork, you know, and love on it and stuff like that, and I appreciate that, you know. I like comments, you know. Don't get me wrong, I like the comments too sometimes, you know. But just the heart, the thumbs up, the occasional shocked look on how well something came out,
Yeah.
you know. Those inspire, you know. They help inspire and keep me going.
Word of advice though, if you're using very thin paper, you might want to put another piece or two behind it.
Yeah, or take out because I personally, because I have so much paper, I know that it's going through right now. I know this for a fact, but I skip a page and draw on the next one. And then what I do is sometimes, especially when I'm coloring, I'll rip off the page that has seeped through and use that as my test page when it comes to colors, to testing colors, to make sure that I don't put it to you know, put a color down and all of a sudden pick a color from the Sharpies, because a Sharpie can be the same color on the cat, but the ink for some reason is completely different. So I will use a scrap piece of paper as the tester paper.
Yes, and I'm very glad you taught me that one because I had 3 Sharpie kits with blues that look exactly the same in them, and I put them all down on the same piece of paper next to each other, and there were 3 completely different blues.
Yep. But according to the packaging, it's all the same.
It's all exactly the same.
Yeah.
The cap was the same color. Even the nib looked the same color, but they all came out completely different.
Always test your Sharpies. Always test them. It's not going to be the same thing all the time. Get a scrap piece of paper, have it on the side. Right now, I'm just drawing in black, so I don't care.
Right.
You know, I know the black is going to be pretty much as similar as possible. I think for the body, I'll just have like a white highlight around the body, but the fabric, I'll just go straight to the line. But yeah. Next question, Ish. You have any more?
Sorry, I've been too busy listening to think of new questions.
Also, you learn to work with what you got. Like if you work with Sharpies a lot, you'll know that some Sharpies bleed a lot, you know, onto certain papers. And because of that, you tend to, like I did, I went around and didn't really touch the line, and then go back with another Sharpie that's a little thinner, it doesn't bleed as much, and go in and touch it. And then sometimes I'll go in even with the Sharpie pen and go in for those little tight little corners, because sometimes you'll have a spike somewhere and there's a tight little corner, and not easy to get into those spikes with a pen tip that bleeds.
Yeah.
Dead air. Come on.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on my own brain, so I'm looking online.
You're looking online for questions for me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know what you've already said.
I said a lot of stuff.
Okay. Here's a random one. What was your scariest experience?
My scariest experience. This has nothing to do with drawing, does it?
No, it doesn't have to.
Yeah, it does.
It could have influenced your art.
No. No, it has to be about my artwork. What the hell are you trying to do to me? My scariest experience.
It's a Q&A.
I don't have a scariest experience really. I mean, almost drowning. Does that count?
Yes.
Are you happy with that? Almost drowning. Had nothing to do with drawing, except for the fact that I would have never drawn again if I drowned. How's that? No, at the time when I almost drowned, I wasn't very fluffy at all. Yeah, now I won't drown again. Yeah, no, I'm too fluffy and I learned how to swim. You know, I learned how to doggy paddle.
Well, I know sometimes people like to get to know the artist as a person in a Q&A.
Yeah, no, I'm not. You want to get me to know me as a person, then I guess that's fine. But I don't know. I'm not trying to divulge, my life story, per se, in my drawing videos here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more questions, little miss? What was your scariest experience? I don't have any good stories like, I went to kiss a girl and it turned out it was a dude because I felt his rock hard dick on my thigh. No, it doesn't. I don't have anything like that for you. Sorry.
I don't think that would be very YouTube appropriate anyway. Have you ever wanted to just quit your art?
Yes. Especially with people harassing me on why I'm not doing this as a job.
Oh,
People harass me so much sometimes that it's like, why are you persisting on not taking my word for I wouldn't be happy, I wouldn't be as productive. Once I started doing this as a job, it would not work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've thought about quitting a few times, and even sometimes there were times where I didn't go, where I went months without drawing, even a whole year almost. I remember. So yeah, it's happened. It's happened. Sometimes I just don't feel the muse upon me.
Have you ever had any really memorable responses to something you've done art-wise?
You, when you cried.
Oh.
That's one of my most recent memories.
I forgot about that.
I drew you a picture, and the thing is, here's the thing, guys. Sometimes I don't do portraits. That's one thing I'll tell you right now. I do not do portraits freestyle. I will trace a portrait and then put my own spin on it, but I do not do portraits. So for Bethany, she one year got me for, I think, what was it, for my birthday, for Christmas, the white pad, the light pad.
Oh, I think that was a Christmas gift.
Okay, for Christmas she got me one year a light pad, and basically it's a LED light pad about the size of a piece of paper, and you plug in your phone charger thingy, you press a button and it lights up the entire thing, and you can put a piece of paper on top and with a drawing, and then another blank piece of paper, and it shines right through, so you can just trace it. Yes, to this day I still trace. So I drew her a picture of one of her favorite characters by played by one of her favorite actors, and it just so happened to be one of her favorite pictures.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know this, but I knew that it was one of her favorite characters. What was it? Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Played by Benedict Cumberbatch, and it was her favorite picture of all time of him as that character. I had no idea, and I drew it for her, and when she opened it, tears. I'm like, I did not mean to make you cry. Sorry.
They were good tears.
They were good tears, but still, I didn't mean to make you cry. So yeah, that's one of my memorable moments from my artwork. Other than that, no, I guess I've had My memory's not that great, so I can't really say. I don't know. That's my most memorable one, positive one anyway. I've had people rip my drawings and apart sometimes, and school kids and stuff being mean and shit like that. But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just that's just children's, being children's. Okay, I'm just doing that a little bit with 5. Looking for number 2. Number 2. There you are. Now I'll just do some line work here. Alright. Come on, they're here. Come on. Any more questions?
What does your art mean to you?
For the most part, like right now I can't do it because copyright infringement, it prohibits me from listening to music, but it for me, for the most part, throwing on some tunes and escaping and just relaxing, calming down the mind, thinking of my next line, thinking of my next idea. Sometimes, like I said, I don't plan my work ahead of time. I really don't. As this kind of video, proves, I didn't really plan for this drawing to keep going as it is, but here it is. It's taking on a life of its own. As I continue to add lines and little details here and there. So it's just right now it's just for the sake of the video, for content, but for the most part it's escape.
A way to express yourself?
Not so much express myself, because I'm not a demonic figure with horns and a cape. That's not me expressing myself.
I don't know. I've seen you in the mornings with no coffee.
That maybe this is my wife, her no. Love you. No, I mean I don't really see it as an expression of myself, because I'm not thin, I'm not bulky. Maybe it's an expression of my inner self, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean your emotions.
I don't know. Maybe I really don't have that much thought in much thought process into it. I just like to draw.
No.
I enjoy it. Some people enjoy sex, so they go into porn.
Right.
Next question, I guess. I don't know. Dead air here. Come on.
You're good.
Give me content.
Content. Need content. Would you ever consider making your original characters into like merchandise if you ever got like more popular?
Yes, I would. I would definitely love to see somebody wearing a T-shirt of one of my characters or one of my drawings on, and just like sporting it for people to look at. Because sometimes I don't have very many original ideas. It's really hard these days to come up with original ideas, as movies have proven time and time again, with their remakes and their freaking reboots and their remakes of their reboots and the reboots of the remakes and shit like that. So it's hard to come up with original content, but if people like what I do, then by all means, just let me know, and I'll figure out a way how to do it, with whatever money I get from doing this, if it takes off. If it doesn't, then hey, it was a blast. I'm having fun drawing and hanging out with you guys, and who knows, maybe if I go live, I can't really do live and be monetized. I don't think that's a thing. It should be,
Well, you could always live stream on Twitch and then move the video over when it's done.
True enough, but then people that are not on Twitch would have to see it later on, and for all I know, people that want me to succeed and have fun with this, wouldn't be on that particular site, I guess.
True.
Just shade this over here like this. Happy little trees. No.
We like Bob Ross in this house.
Yeah, we do.
Love Bob Ross.
Happy little trees.
Happy little accident.
Happy little accidents. That's not a bad thing. It's a happy little accident. That line was meant to be there. All right, next question.
If you could recommend like stuff to get to start with?
Stuff to get to start with.
Like what you think is necessary to start, just to start drawing.
Pencils. Peace and quiet.
You're never gonna get that in this house. You live with 3 women.
I know. Jesus Christ. I think she wants to be in the video by with her cackles. Pencils, erasers. Primary things you are gonna want. Don't worry too much about your pencil work right away, because if you ink it, it'll stay. You that's what pencils and erasers are for, is to draw, and whatever you don't like, you take off. You know, for the most part. So those are the 2 main things: pencils, erasers, and paper. And if you're just starting off, I would suggest, you know, just regular printer paper from Walmart or Staples or Best Buy or wherever you want to go to get your paper. You know, the cheap stuff, and you got an abundance of it because it comes in packs of 500. You know, just make sure you have a hard, you know, drawing surface, and make sure you have you don't want to ruin the surface that you're on, like your mom's kitchen table or anything like that. Make sure there's paper underneath, in case you decide to go over to Sharpies and stuff like that.
Yes. I learned the Sharpies bleed through the hard way when I was younger.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off Mama
No.
and her good table.
Yeah, I was on the carpet.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a no-no. But if you want to get into it more, then I guess start going with Sharpies like I have, and from there, and if you can afford it, you know, by all means, go into the Copics and the Prismacolors and the Art Loft and all the other, you know, good expensive stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, so if I can afford them, I would get them more often. I mean, I like the Art Loft pens also. The Copic, I really haven't worked with them any at all for me to know whether or not I like working with them or not. So I can't really give a good opinion on that one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to comment on something you've never had an experience.
Yeah, exactly.
with.
But the Art Loft, I've had several, you know, markers with them, and Prismacolors, I've had several markers of theirs, and I like working with them very much. Next question.
Gotta think.
Ouch.
Yeah, it hurts.
Hurts a little bit, does it?
Yeah, I got a headache.
Yeah. For you.
I know it doesn't really have a whole lot to do with your, like, your physical art there, and I'm not sure if you've already commented on it, but what hardware are you currently using to record this video? I don't know if you commented on it.
I commented on it a couple of times already, and I gave thanks, and I'll still give praise and thanks to Monte Kanan, aka Money Monster, aka Zeskimos. My brother from another mother gave me for Christmas a GoPro Hero 7 Black. That is what I'm currently using. That's what I'm currently recording with, and I'm hoping that this video comes out amazing. I dedicate this drawing to him. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna gift this drawing to him, being the very first drawing I'm doing on the GoPro. And hopefully he'll like it. And if he doesn't, then oh well, kick rocks. One of his favorite saying, kick rocks, dude. Can't really change that, bro. It was meant to be a test and not really be what it is, but it's becoming something. So, you know, it is what it is, but that's what I'm using right now. He also got me the clamp, the Jaws clamp that's attached to it, to hold in place over our head, over the headboard, or the head of the bed, I guess you can say. That's where we're at right now. As I'm on the app with my phone, and we're an hour and a half in, so I better wrap this up, because I better hurry up with these lines. Because we only have, on this particular memory card, I only have about 2 hours and 38 minutes. So granted, I have about an hour to go ish, you know, but I don't want to risk it. But yeah, that's what I'm using right now, the GoPro 7 Hero Black.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag
Please sponsor me.
if you wanna, you know, you see more artwork, you know, better artwork eventually as I get more used to talking to myself and stuff like that. And again, questions and answers, Q&A. If you have a question that you want answered by me regarding my artwork, please feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer. It is PG/rated R, so it is not meant for kids because I will cuss. I am not, trying to get, if I get monetized, I don't want to get demonetized because of this what I hear about Google and their faux pas, whatever that might have been. I just know that a lot of people have been demonetized, even though they're rated G. They have been demonetized and no more comments. And I want to see your comments. I would like to get monetized. So feel free to ask me those questions, folks. Comment down below. I don't know how this is gonna portray. I think Bethany said she's gonna make me a YouTube channel. So I don't know where I'm going with this. It might turn into something, it might not. Either way, I'm having fun. I'm drawing, hanging out with you guys, and eventually maybe make it more interactive to where, you guys it'll be like a live Twitch feed or Facebook, live, whatever. I have never done that kind of stuff really before, so it's a learning experience. Take a journey with me.
Right.
Take a journey with me, and maybe I'll have Bethany here all the time with me, and have her be my co-anchor, my co-artist, my co-operator. I don't know. She has opinions of her own, that are very helpful, and sometimes some that are not. It's just it is what it is. So yeah, and sometimes who knows? Maybe I'll have the wife answer some questions for me. She could read them off to me and stuff like that. So, and who knows? Maybe I'll have them both, and it'll be a threesome. Hey, get her done. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions about my artwork, positive feedback only, please. Negative feedback will either be blocked or ignored, and I will not be sorry about that. I will not. Matter of fact, I might even put you on blast to some people that will haunt you and terrorize you. I know that my brother from another mother, Joel Santiago, he is ruthless. He is savage. You do not want him on. You don't want to be on his bad side. You don't want to make him come after you.
He sounded okay and stuff.
Yeah, because he's ruthless when it comes to savagery and bombardment. He is so freaking smart. He does his research. He does his homework. He will find a way to make you cry with just a sigh. He can just in a certain way, and it'll make you tear up because you're like, you fucked up. Anyway, any more questions?
If you ever had the opportunity to work with some of those artists you mentioned earlier, do you think you'd do it?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I am not gonna look like a fucking 5th grader drawing. You're looking at my drawing, Mr. Jim Lee. Fuck no. I'm not doing that shit. A collaboration piece, maybe I'll draw it and let him ink it because he's amazing. But as far as working with him per se, man, I'd be so nervous. I'd have that freaking fangirl little reaction. I wouldn't hump his leg or anything like that, because it's just, not kosher. But still, I'm not gonna be, I don't think I would want to be in that position,
Yeah.
I mean, if it came to a point to where if I created a character that really took off, because I have ideas, we all have ideas. But if I had a character that really took off, and like Todd McFarlane came up to me and says, "Hey, I want to work with you on this, and maybe make it into a movie, and make him fight against Spawn," I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, get her done." Do you have any ideas for a lawyer? Because I don't want to get screwed over. You know, it's all legal mumbo jumbo and shit like that. You know, so I don't know. I've never been in that kind of situation, so I can't really give you a 100%. You know, definitely I'll go. You know, do this and this and this, and I don't know what I'll do. You know, so yeah. But for the most part, I don't think I'd wanna like, you know, have them come up to me and say, "Hey, I want you to draw a comic book for me." No. I don't draw backgrounds. I suck at certain things. Hell, I have trouble drawing the female form. You know, for the most part, a lot of my artwork is man based. You know, I've practiced with it, and one of the things that I fear is that women especially, will be like, "This is not the way women look," you know, and I'm like, "Hey, it's a drawing." You know, people are too PC these days. They get too butthurt over the smallest things anymore. So I don't want to have to deal with that drama.
Right. Like I personally love your style because I mean nobody looks like that. Like, well, a couple of people look like that, but not many. That's not the average male form.
They have to work really hard to get to that point. You know, they're bodybuilders and wrestlers and football players and shit like that. So.
Right. But I mean, I love the style. Like, it's very, very stylized. And I love it. I love the way you draw.
Well, thank you.
Both men and women, so. But like you said, a lot of people out there will be like, well, women don't have waists that tiny with asses that big.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
Not in the real life, but this is not real life.
Exactly. So, yeah. All right, next question.
No, I know you said you wouldn't particularly want to do artwork for someone's tattoo specifically, but what if somebody came up to you and said, I really like this piece that you've done, would you be okay with me getting it tattooed?
Oh yeah, if it's something I've already done and they like it that much, go for it. I mean, I will give you straight up permission. I will sign a waiver to give to your tattoo artist so that he doesn't have to worry about getting sued for doing my artwork on your body. If you want to wear my artwork on your body and carry it around for life, I'm all for it. I really am. I don't care. You know, I mean, if he wants to tweak it a little bit to where it's more tattoo savvy, because I do have a lot of lines. I do have a lot of little lines here and there and things like that. I understand that, so I won't take it away from the artist if they want to just do a little tweaking here and there to make it their own.
Yeah.
You know. But for the most part, it'll be my artwork, because it's not like you're going to just say, especially if I know you and I know that you're not the type to say, yeah, I drew this, so-and-so, and I had some guy tattoo art. If you're that kind of person, I probably wouldn't be dealing with you in the first place.
Right.
You wouldn't be on my friends list type of thing.
Yeah.
So. All right. After this, I'll probably just I don't know. What do you think? Should I take a picture of it a couple times and to add on to the video, or should I just like raise it up to the thing?
Could do both. Could like raise it up to show around and then do a big picture to finish.
True. And you can add it onto the video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
This is probably quite far down the line in the future here, but if this kind of takes off and you do become quite popular with quite a lot of fans, would you ever consider doing like a meetup?
Ooh,
say by some amazing grace you get super famous in the comic book world and you end up getting invited to go talk at Comic-Con. Would you go do that?
I really don't see my artwork being that good.
No, I know.
I don't see. I know. I don't see myself. Because I don't see myself as that good of an artist to be in Comic-Con.
Okay,
but I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to answer the question. Be quiet in there. Mind your business. If it came to that point, by some miracle, the gods peed on my artwork and made it glow or some shit, I don't know, maybe some radioactive, ink came into my possession and I drew, and, I got the pen of destiny, and Jack Black and and Kyle Gass came out and started singing songs about my artwork, then yeah, maybe I probably would definitely go for meetups and do little quick sketches for people, and to so and so, and hope you will, thank you for being a fan, thank you for getting me to where I'm at, type of stuff. I would definitely do that. I can see myself standing, sitting, and collaborating with people, and I guess if it happens, it happens. Great. So yeah, the answer to that is yeah.
And you would totally do meetups.
I would probably more than likely do meetups. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Definitely a confidence booster too.
Oh hell yeah! That's why I would like to see positive feedback on what I'm doing now. If I get positive feedback, it'll boost the confidence level that that I'm doing something okay, that I'm doing something that people want to see.
Yeah, because that's a big thing, isn't it? If you lose confidence in yourself, your art suffers.
Yeah, it does, and you don't want to do the art. You don't want to do the work involved into it. So it's definitely a thing. It's definitely something that happens.
Yeah.
With me, I can't speak for everybody. This is something I cannot express enough. Everybody's different. Some people are complete brilliant artists and complete total dicks in real life.
Oh yes.
And I'm hoping not to be that dick. If I have a talent and you enjoy this talent and you want to see me in person and have me do a little sketch for you, and you enjoy it, I'm down. Positive feedback is always appreciated. Any other questions? We're in an hour and 41 minutes in so far.
Your fingers getting sore yet?
No, not really.
I can't stand that. It's been so long since I've actually done physical art like this instead of digital, that when I hold a pen or a pencil for too long, I get a dent in my finger and it starts to cramp
it
up.
happens. It happens to me sometimes too when I'm drawing, but I overlook it. I push through the pain.
Right.
I don't really get that much. When it comes to gaming, sometimes I'll start playing a game and my wrist will start hurting and stiffening up, and I have to crack it or whatever, and then keep on going. Recently, I've been playing a little bit of Tekken 7 for those gamers out there. I'm not that great. I do not juggle. I don't do all that fancy crap. I just play to have fun. I am a casual gamer. So don't go looking for me and trying to challenge me in any fights, because I will more than likely ignore it. But sometimes when I'm doing the treasure battles and trying to get more stuff and more monies for the characters and stuff like that, I will cramp up a little bit and have to crack my wrist and my fingers, and I wear rings. I don't really take them off while I'm playing, so that's another factor, I guess, for some people. So yeah. Next.
Do you think that at one point you would do a redo, basically, a redraw on one of your pictures?
Yes, I have done that before. I have created characters in the past that I more than likely will not share until I'm able to copyright them. To where over the years I drew them when I was 18, and then I do it again when I was 20, and then I do it again when I was 30, just to see my own character progress with my own style, and sometimes even revamp my own character in my portfolio.
Yeah, and I know you lost a lot of the stuff from when you were younger, but I think it would be really cool for a video for you to show one of your oldest pieces that we still have.
Oh yeah.
And redo that in the video.
That would be pretty cool. If somebody wants to see that, comment down below. Let me know if you want to see, again, I would really like it for people not to steal my characters, because, originality is hard to come by, and even some of my characters are not really all that original anyway. But I would really appreciate if people didn't try and steal my ideas. But so that would be a thing, that I would have an issue with. But if it was a drawing of a character that already exists,
yeah, like Batman, a really old Batman drawing.
Yeah, then I would definitely, probably do that for video content one day.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely.
You know.
I think that'd be awesome. Show like the progression, you know.
Yeah, definitely. More something like that 10-year challenge type of thing. You mean?
Yeah, totally.
You know.
Yes. Would you I've seen a lot of videos going around randomly where artists will do a whole picture in like one color, like all the different reds I have or all the different blues I have. I mean, obviously this is all black, so this doesn't really help. But do you think you'd do something like that too? Like, this is all the different blues I have, you know? Do like a character that's mainly blue. I guess maybe Superman or something. He's got a lot of blue in him.
I haven't really seen anything like that. I really don't really pay that much attention, but I guess, again, in the future videos, who knows? Maybe if somebody makes it, makes it like a poll of what they want to see, and if I feel like confident enough to make it happen, I'll make it happen, Captain.
Right?
You know? Get her done.
It's nice. It's been a minute since I just kind of sat here and watched you draw. And you find it rather amusing when you show me and your wife the work, and he thinks it's hilarious that I always pick out a tiny detail.
Yeah, she does. Oh my God, it's like it's a flattering and frustrating all at the same time. Like she'll get the like a tiny little detail of something I did somewhere. Like it could be like a background item or like a little happy face on a cuffling on a specific drawing that I did recently, and she'll see that one little thing and like, I like that. It's so cute.
That'd be my favorite part of the whole picture. This one little tiny thing, and he's like, I put like 4 hours into this, and you like that little happy face that took me 2 seconds.
And this is just a little bit of white, what is it, pen touch, 1.0 millimeter. I don't know what the camera is. There it is. I just want to give him a couple of
Highlight?
No, just a little dot in the eyes to make it look a little creepier.
Oh, you're right. That does.
Just that one little smidge.
That puts that sprinkle of creepy on top.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just, and there it is, And now I'll just sign it and we'll call it good. We'll call it a day. Take some pictures of it. And that's one thing about me is that I'm the kind of person that once I put my signature on a drawing, it's pretty much a done drawing.
Yeah, no touchy.
No retouches after I do the draw, after I sign it, which is a big deal for me for some reason. It's just something I've done for years now. So that's it. The drawing is done, guys. There it is.
You should put like a boob pic in it. That way you.
Well, no. Why would I do that? It's not gonna be it wouldn't float well with YouTube people and law and.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be kid friendly. So
It's already not kid friendly.
It's already not kid friendly because I'm swearing. Yeah, the swearing enough. The swearing and bullshitting is enough to make it not kid friendly. All right, folks. Well, that's the video. I will attach, I guess, pictures. How will we do this? Like,
I'll fix it.
you'll fix it. You'll fix it. I want to take a few pictures of it. Maybe using the GoPro. Maybe using my cell phone. I don't know yet. More than likely, I'll try it with the GoPro first and see how the pictures turn out. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. If you watched this entire almost 2 hours of video, thanks
God bless you.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Comment, like, share, whatever you want to do. Enjoy.
That bell icon.
There you go. She's like I said, she's a promoter.
Savvy.
She's YouTube savvy, not me. You like what you see, enjoy. Again, Monty Kane and Money Monster, Zeskimos. You're the man. I love you, brother.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Seriously, dude. If you don't like this drawing, like I said, kick rocks, dude. I love you. Bye.